When you record courses, I am of the opinion that if you don't want to stress too much while editing, since it's the knowledge you have, there shouldn't be gaps in between. There shouldn't be lapses to make your course creation process faster. You get, so I've started now, and let's say I'm recording all these that we are doing. I'm currently recording it, and I'll leave some space in between. Okay, so now let's say I'm done recording. After you've done all the demonstration and everything, I'm done recording. I'll click on this icon. There are two Camtasia icons. This is record icon. This is the normal video interface. So what I want to do now is to stop my recording. So I'm going to stop it from here. I'm going to click on this. And when I click on this, so far I have 54 seconds video. So I can stop my record. I'll use this to stop. You can pause. For instance, maybe you have something to do or you want to check something, you can pull back whenever you want to resume. So instead of leaving gaps in between your course, there are cases whereby while you are recording, you want to cough. Yes. Instead of you to cough while recording, you can pause to play, then continue your course. So these are the simple layouts. This one is restart, and this one is minimize. If you want to take this out of your interface, you just use the minimize. It minimizes. Then you come back here. Now let's end this. Let's say we want to end this. I'll just use this to end it. Okay, perfect. So once this is stopped, right, this is the course we just recorded. This is what we just recorded. What I did so far is what I just recorded. Now these are tracks. You have track 1, track 2, right? I could take this track up. The reason being that maybe I want to input a background sound. I can bring in a background sound right here. They are copyrighted sounds, so you don't just use any sound. So if you want to use any sound, I think you have to check up on me to know if it's copyrighted or not, or we get you sounds to use. So sometimes it helps like amplify your sound, and it helps erase background noise. All these goats bleating, or what's the sound goat makes, all those things can be minimized with background sound. So for instance, I have some background songs already that I use. I could share them with you guys as well. So let me come to my desktop and Belad Creative Studio audio. So these are some that I use personally. These are the favorite ones I use. So for instance, let's say I want to use one, this driving ambition. All I have to do is to come, drag, and come drop it here. I have audio. So now I have the main interface of what I recorded. I have the audio. So I can bring the audio to this track 1. So what it means is that this works in layer. This is the first layer. This is the second layer. When I play this, the background sound is higher than the main chord sound. What do? I reduce the sound. I increase this. So this is the main course. This is the main recorded session. So I want to increase the audio of this. How do I do it? Look at this right here. This icon. This audio properties icon is where I'm going to come to. I hope you are seeing it, Tosin. Daniel, I hope you are seeing it. Okay, so you come to the audio properties, then you increase. What I increased to is 150. I used to increase to 150%. So if you put it at 150%, it's better. So let me do it right now. Wow, is this thing off? Okay, 150%. That would be the sound, the main sound. Then the background sound should be lowered to 5%. So as you can see, the audio property, this one is an audio, this one has visual. That's why we have visual properties. These are your visual properties, these are your audio properties. But this one is just audio, so this one will only have audio properties. And you see your gain right here. So your gain will be reduced to 5%. That means you reduce the sound to 5%. So that way it makes it subtle below the interface, the main recorded interface. So now I could start playing. Okay, perfect. Now we have this, right? So you can save. For instance, when you record, it's not immediately you record. Sometimes, so this is how I do my own. What I do is that I record sessions. For instance, I can record one session, a full session today. when I'm done recording that full session, that's when I'm going to start editing, right? Instead of me recording one, edit it. It's going to take your precious time. So the best way to go about it is to record. You can record like 10 lessons at once. You get, once you are done recording the 10 lessons, you're going to save them one by one. Then you come back and start editing them from the first to the 10th. So that's how to go about it. Then you can keep recording. Anyhow you want to do it, just make sure you have a workflow. And your workflow starts from recording. Once you are done recording, you start editing. So now I've done this now. What I want to do now is to start editing this video. But before I start editing, let's say I want to record. I've recorded this. I want to start recording another one. I need to save this. How do I save? I use Ctrl S. But if I don't want to use the shortcut, I come to File. And as you can see, look at the shortcut here, Ctrl S. Then I'll click on Save. Then I will give it the name. For instance, let's say this course is meant to be the first lesson in the course I'm creating. I'll just name it 1, then period. I can now put the name, maybe introduction to Camtasia. Now I've saved this. I'll save it right there. Now what I just did is I saved this. What do I do next? I want to create a new course. I'll now start a file again. I'll say file and I'll start a new project. So that way I've saved the first one. Let's say I want to record for the second now. I'll say I want to create a new project, right? I'm going to create a new project. But before I do that, let me end this one I'm recording. I'm recording because of people that are not here. So let me end this for. Okay, so once you have Camtasia installed, you are going to have a folder automatically. So your folder will be in Documents, Camtasia. So if you want to open a file you've saved, all you have to do is to come to the folder, Camtasia, and try to open the saved file. In this case, we've saved this introduction to Camtasia. All I have to do is to click on it to open it. Then I'll have this. Then I'll have a TechSmith project. I'll open this. So having to open this, I have this right now. Right now, what do we do next? So we are going to start editing. Like I said, you can add a background sound. So in this case, let me delete this particular sound. Let me bring in another sound. So I'm going to bring in another sound right away. So right now, let me bring in another sound. So I'm going to come to my desktop. I'm going to come to Belad Creative Studio. And this audio, let me bring in one of these sound that is long. So I can bring in something like this. I'll just drag and drop it to the interface. And I have something like this. So what I want to do now is to bring it to this track 1. Then reduce the sound. Click on this. Make sure you are clicking on whatever elements you are trying to work on. Currently, I'm trying to work on this track 1 audio. I'll click on it. Then I'll come to my audio properties to reduce that. So I'm going to reduce it to 5% just to make it blend with the actual sound. So now I can zoom. This is where you zoom your interface. If you want to see the whole packet of what you recorded, you have to zoom out. So what I'll do is to zoom out. This is zoom in, zoom out. So now I've zoomed out and we're going to have something like this. So since I will not be working on the background sound, I can make the track 1 interface go lower like this since it's not needed. Then I would amplify the track 2 since I want to work on the track 2. Now this is where it gets interesting. Why do I say so? Look at the gaps. When you look through this, you see gaps. Look at gaps. Those gaps are the parts you are not talking. So sometimes it's advisable to take it out and sometimes you can leave it if they are not too much. In this instance, let's say I want to take this particular one out. How do I take it out? I'm going to split. I'm going to right click. I use shortcut to edit. I don't use, but I just want to show you from the interface how to do it. Right. So I'm going to click on this and let's say I want to cut. I want to cut this. How do I go about it? Look at the cut button here. Look at it right there. Can you see it? That's the cut button. So I'm going to use it to cut. Sorry, Ctrl Z. I know how to use shortcut. I don't even know what this is. I'm coming. Okay, I think let me show you how I set my, what's it called, I set my shortcuts, my keys. So let me show you how I did that. More, this thing is becoming toxic. Let me show you. So I'll come to file. No, I think edit, preferences. Okay, shortcuts. Yes. So this is where I want to come to, shortcuts. So now this is where you can set your shortcuts. You can set your shortcuts. So I can go back. So what I want to show you actually is timeline editing. So in timeline editing, look at split selected media. In my own case, I'm using S. As you can see, I was the one who set it up, so I'm using S in my own case. So once I press S, it's going to split whatever I'm doing. So these are the shortcuts. You can come learn the shortcuts. So these are all the shortcuts. If you have to learn the shortcuts, you can come learn it from here. But and you can set it as well, whatever you're comfortable using, you can come set it here, so that to make your work faster. So in my own case, I have S as a split. I want to split this and split this, then I'm going to delete. How do I do that? So I'll click on the timeline. This is the timeline I'm working on. Now press my S button. So once I press S, you can see that something created a division. That division is called split. Now I want to split. I splitted that. Then I'll come right here to split this as well. I'll click on the timeline. When you see this yellow line around the border, that means you are selecting that timeline. If I select this other splitted timeline, you see the yellow line around the borders. If I select this, you see the yellow line around the borders this way. So what I want to do now is to use S to cut this particular part again. So I'm going to use S. I just cut that one again, and I have another separate one here. So now I can now delete this one. Since this is the one that has the space, I can now delete it by using my delete button. So I'll press my delete button. It deletes that. Now when it deletes it, there's this space. How do I cover up this space? You can do that automatically by using something called magnet. This is the magnet. Look at it right here. So it's called enable magnetic track. So once you cut, it's going to automatically remove the spacing and bring it closer. So let's turn on the magnet. When I turn it on now, when I enable it, as you can see, it closes the space. When I see another space now and try to cut another space, let me cut another space right now. I'll use my S right here. Then I'll cut this. I'll use my delete button to delete it. As you can see, it closes it up. So that's how to make that automatically. And we have our edit. So you can cut off places you don't want. If you made mistake somewhere, you can come cut it off. Just the same process. So that's how I keep editing till I edit this video to the very end. So the less mistake you make, the better for you, because the less mistake you make, the faster your production or the faster you export whatever you are doing. So right now we have all this, and I have all this right now. That's how to cut and join. Those are the basic things you need to publish a course. Now I could choose to extract my audio from the visual. How do I do that? Once I right click, you see all this. You can silence your audio. You can separate your audio from your video. If you separate your audio from your video, it takes the audio out. Then you have only just the video. It takes it to a separate track line. So let me separate this audio. When I separated this audio, so now this is my visual and this is just the audio. So that's what you use separate audio for. There might be cases you want to use it. Then you can watch other tutorials on how to use Camtasia. It's actually a very easy tool to use. It's not as complex as every other video edit tool. So this is actually very easy to use. I think those are the basic things you need. Cut, then cut to the final end. Now we want to export. How do we export? Now I could bring this, I could enlarge this, I could amplify it. So I could amplify it back to where it was and amplify this. So now I want to end what I'm currently doing. To export, before I end it, okay, let me export before I end it so that I can export it and send it to the group. So to export, you see your export button right here. So to export now, I want to export this, and I will say I want to export it as a local file. I will export it as a local file. So I'm going to click on local file, and this is the name, the file name. So since I gave it the appropriate name from the very beginning, I can leave it. So this is one, introduction to Camtasia. And we have save location. So save location means you have to choose a folder you want to save this. So I can click on this folder icon, you are seeing here. I'm going to click on it, then I can choose. So when you are creating a course, I've shown Daniel this before, you create a folder for the course you are creating. So let's say I'm creating a course for Camtasia. So I'll say Camtasia video edit, new folder, Camtasia video edit crash course. Perfect. So I'm going to create this folder. So now I can choose to export this particular video that we just worked on. I can choose to export it into the folder of the course. So this is the course I wanted to create. So I will select the folder, and right now I can start exporting. Every other thing should be the way it is. This is MP4. If you want to export audio only, if you want to export GIFs, but MP4 is what we are trying to export. You don't need the advanced settings. Leave the advanced settings alone. Now you can now export whatever you edited or did. So you make sure your timeline stays on track. For instance, let me show you what I'm trying to say. So for instance, the visual ended here, but the background sound still goes. Let me show you what I'm saying. So this is the visual ended here, and the background sound still goes. What do? I will split this. I'll use S to split it, then I'll cut this off, I'll delete this off, then I'll use my delete button to delete it, so that the audio and the visual would stay at the same track end. Then I can export. So I can choose to export right now, and I've shown you how to export. So it's just as basic as you trying to export this way. Choose your folder. You always choose a folder to export, then you start exporting. Then it exports. Once it exports, you are done creating a lesson. So that's how you keep creating lessons. I think that should help for now. So I can quit this and see how it goes. So we have to install this particular tool and start exploring it and start using it to create courses. Do you have any question for me? If you have any question for me, I can start taking questions.